What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to the Uncommon Mindset podcast. Today, I'm joined by someone who needs no introduction, but I'll just give you a brief background on who he is. I'm joined by Brad One Punch Pickett. He's known as an absolute legend in the mixed martial arts arena, being an influential figure and pioneer of British mixed martial arts fighting, competing in the sport for over a decade. Brad is a former UFC fighter who has fought the best of the best and is the guy who gave Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson his first ever loss in the UFC. The president of the UFC, Dana White, mentioned that Pickett is one of his firm favorite fighters to watch. Brad is also the head trainer and director of Great Britain Top Team and is the coach of the future star in the bantamweight division of the UFC, Nathanial the Prospect Wood. Pickett is definitely an uncommon individual, and it's such an honor to have you on the podcast today.
Hi, can I just bear me just 1 second? I think my kids just really hurting. So just 1 second.
No worries.
No, sorry. Yeah, okay. Did you hear any of that? Yeah, I'm on a podcast there. I told you I'm actually on the podcast as we speak. I told you so. Sorry about that. I'm really sorry.
No worries, that's fine.
Sorry. Family life.
No worries, that's totally fine. So I'll just start off by asking, when and why did you get into mixed martial arts?
I see, kind of a tricky question where I was always been an athlete growing up. My main sport growing up as a kid was football and cricket. I always thought I was going to be a professional footballer and that sort of thing. My first sort of combat sport was boxing, but I only really took up boxing to keep fit, really, in between football. And I boxed for 2 years between the age of 19 and 21. I didn't get into
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I didn't get into MMA until I was like 26 age. No worries. I didn't get into MMA till the age of 26, really. And that was just a little bit by fluke as well. And to be honest, back then, it wasn't really much of a sport. You know, it just wasn't like it is today. You know, like today, there was actually it's an actual recognized sort of sport. You could go on and earn a career from it. But back when I did it, it was just something cool to do, and it was a bit of fun.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. No, what was your upbringing like? Because I know you're from England, right? What was that like growing up in England?
Well, I didn't grow up in England completely. I was born in East London. I was born in Whitechapel. I lived there to the ages of 8. Then I moved to India for 2.5 years. I lived in India for 2.5 years. And when I moved back to England, I moved to the East Midlands, like a place called Arundel, around that Peterborough, around that sort of area. I lived there. And I lived there until I was about 21 years of age. And that's when I had most of my football up there. I played for teams like Russian Diamonds, Town, and stuff like that. That's where I played most of my football. And then I moved back down to London when I was 21 years of age. Started to try and get back into the boxing at the age of like 25. I went to the Peacock Gym in Camden Town. Found it a bit same old, and then I took up MMA at 26. But my upbringing was pretty family, very competitive household between me and my brother. There's 16 months between us. He's my older brother. So we had a very competitive upbringing, but very friendly but competitive. You know, like we always compete with each other in that aspect.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. It's nice to have someone to compete against for sure whilst growing up. What's your main goals now, Brad? Because I know that obviously you're a coach and you're coaching one of the upcoming. Oh.
My daughter's
Where is she?
Yeah. So
hello.
This is hello, Poppy.
Hello.
Hello. Mommy. It's
Oh,
not mommy.
so
That's
cute.
definitely right. You got to go now, Bobby. Okay. Go. Say bye bye, Bobby. Say bye bye.
Bye. Oh, she's so cute.
The joys, right. So where were we?
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, I was just saying, like, what are your goals at the moment? Because I know that you're a coach and you're coaching one of, an upcoming star at the moment, Nathanial Wood. So what's your goals like with coaching and just in life in general?
Well, for me, when I was like a competitive athlete, I was always competition driven. I always like strive to be the best in the world, and no matter what I did, like it wasn't for the one to try. And obviously, like I went down to flyweight, and I was quite a big bantamweight, and I went down to flyweight. That was to solely trying to get a title shot. So I did everything I could within my career. So you see that I'm that sort of driven kind of person, and it doesn't stop there. I'm a very, like it goes in with my upbringing, with my brother made me very competitive, and I'm still very competitive now, even though I don't compete in MMA. I still want my team to be one of the best teams. I want to help my fighters. I want to be the best fighter. So that's my goals: is to bring the next generation through, help guide them and mold them and guide them in the right way, and hopefully have some world champions. And we'll have a few, like Cage Warriors world champions and stuff like that. But now, obviously, I want some UFC world champions.
No, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, that's amazing. And just watching your fights, growing up, just the dog that you have in you is incredible, and like the mindset that you have is incredible. I just I want to know when you were going through your difficult times. So like when you went through like a loss, how did you take that, and like how did you bounce back from that?
It's hard, to be honest. Like I say, being a very, I probably said this about 5 times already, but being a very competitive person, it's tough to take a loss, But I was one of those people, I was always a bad loser where I did not like losing. I wasn't a sore loser. So I never would make an excuse like, oh, it's because my ankle was a bit sore, or I hurt my wrist in the lead of, yeah, I had none of this. I just went, okay, cool, you beat me.
Oh,
I'm going to get back and come back and beat you. So they'll be like, oh, so like basically I lost. Oh, I had a great night. And I went, no, you know you didn't. I lost. And I went, no, I still had a really good night. It was awesome. I was like, yeah, but how much better would it have been if I'd have won? So for me, I always wanted them to have the best night. So for me, losing, I felt bad on everybody else, not myself. I felt bad on everyone else. Like, oh, I let everyone down and all that sort of stuff. So for me, I didn't like losing. It really affected me. So yeah. So I've never been a good loser in that aspect, But obviously, it's part of the sport. But I had the mindset. But a lot of people, when I fight, were doing the same boat as me sometimes, So I just got on with myself. Didn't worry about them. I just concentrated on myself. So.
yeah, no, that's brilliant. No, that's amazing to hear. And it's part of life as well. It's not just that part of fighting, Like you're gonna go through losses, and you just got to bounce back from them. It's not.
In this sport, especially in this sport, isn't like I said this many times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in this sport, it's hard, like where in this sport, there's so many variables of winning and losing. You're more likely to lose. Where in boxing, the best boxer is going to win the fight. In wrestling, the best wrestler will win. In a fight, not the best fight always wins because there's so many variables of how the two fighters can fight each other 10 times and there can be a lot of different outcomes. It won't be like 10 the same. I mean,
Yeah. No, no, I agree with that because I do I do like mixed martial arts myself, so I know that there's so many factors that go into it. And if someone's a better wrestler than you, and they take you down, they could win the fight. But then if you're a good striker and you catch them once, you could you could win the fight as well, obviously. But I want to know what your mindset was like going into fights. Like, did you ever get nervous?
Of losing? I've never, ever nervous of an opponent in any way whatsoever. More nervous about the outcome. And I changed my way of thought, as in before I was so scared of losing, it would make me freeze sometimes. Like I'd overthink things and be so nervous. Where towards the end of my career, I came a little bit better, where I didn't concentrate on winning as much. I concentrated on performing. So if I perform the best I can and concentrate on my performance, and I lose, I got beat by the better individual. Does that make sense? Where not worried about, and if I perform the best I can, if I'm going against someone that I believe I'm going to beat, I should win that fight. No, but so that's why I try to do my in that aspect, where before I was just so, I need to win by hook or by crook, and I didn't have no real clear mindset on how to do it. So I need to win, which sometimes that kind of helped me out in a dog eat dog sort of mindset, where the never sort of quit kind of mindset helps me out a lot. And things with me as well, I kind of and how true it is or how it wasn't true is, everyone I fought, in my mindset, they were scared to fight me. Only because I'm not an easy fight for anyone, where I'm always going to be there. I'm tough. I'm not easy to beat. I'll come forward. I'll try and knock you out. So for me, I'm thinking, well, they're scared of me. Why am I scared of them? They should get, that's my mindset kind of helped me. So even you saw that within my fights, I used to eat 2 punches to land one of mine. But then that did catch up with me later on in my life, where I did get this as well. I wasn't as durable as I was when I was a bit younger. So it did catch up with me a little bit, which then did affect my mindset going into a fight later in my career, going, oh, I'm a little bit vulnerable. I need to be more careful. Where before, when early days, I did not care. You could fit me whatever you wanted. Nothing hurt me. I never got rocked in the gym. Never got rocked in, So I was pretty tough in that aspect.
No, I believe you. Yeah, no, I just want to, obviously, we're talking about like losing and winning here. And, you beat one of the GOATs at the moment in mixed martial arts, Demetrious Johnson, like I mentioned earlier. What was that like after you beat him? Like, how did you feel?
It was just a fight for me. Like when I fought him, it was like a young prospect, 14-0. Wasn't much footage about him. There's a lot of hype around him being Matt Hume's prodigy sort of thing. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's just, for me, this kid, I'm going to deal with him. And I dealt with him. If anyone goes back and watches the fight, I beat him quite comfortably. I felt really good. He's gone on to accomplish great things, don't get me wrong. But at the time, I felt great. I would say I was probably in my prime, where I felt my best, my physical best. And yeah, it did not bother me. Obviously, now it means a lot more than it did back then. But whatever, I beat who was in front of me that night,
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. What has been your biggest achievement, would you say?
In MMA, I'd say, I don't know, when I started getting to any sort of kind of fighting, when I started to travel a little bit, obviously being in cage raids and the local scene sort of thing. When I started to travel a bit, when I fought on Bodog in Costa Rica, and I fought in K1 Dynamite in California, I was like, I need to find Vegas. That was one of my main things. And I'm making my promotional debut for the WEC, fighting in Vegas. I'm winning by a really rare submission, which was approved in that time. Winning a submission night bonus. For me, that's one of the best stand-up moments to me in my career. That was just amazing. Fighting the fight capital of the world in my biggest promotional debut and winning by such a rare submission. that kind of was like one of the things like awesome. Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, that that submission was crazy as well. Yeah, and where did your nickname One Punch come from?
It came from when I used to box. I was 10-1 as an amateur. I just have even when I boxed, I was more of a brawler, to be honest. I just I hit hard, and even I was knocking out guys with 10-ounce gloves and headgear when I was like weighing like 56 kilos. You know, like
Oh,
I just kind of threw hard. You know, so it was just my sort of style, and I got it from there. But then a lot of people could get my whole image, I think, cross between the character from Snatch. Because obviously Mickey One Punch, he used to wear Trilby and Russell. Because my granddad used to be a better. My mum said to me, "Oh, you got it from your granddad." He died when I was 4, so I didn't really get to know him. But I remember looking at pictures of him. He used to wear braces and a Trilby hat and stuff. And he used to work during the day as a roofer, but at night time he used to do some bare knuckle boxing just to earn a bit of extra money for the family. I'm like, cool. I'm going to pay tribute to my granddad then. And that's why I wore braces and a Trilby hat.
that's brilliant. No, that's amazing. I know that you've also been on a card with Conor McGregor. What was that like? Like, did you get to meet him? What was he like in person?
I've chatted to him quite a bit, like he was very friendly and nice to me. He was saying he was a big fan of me back in the early days. I think we've won the same card like 4 to 5 times, to be honest.
Oh,
It was good. I could see that he was had a good he had a lot of he's very charismatic, especially after his debut. He knocked out Marcus Brimage. I submitted Demetrious Page. And we both got bonuses. I think mine was over 5. I think mine got 5 of the night, and he's got knockout of the night. So I remember, and also one little story about that. He says 60 G's, baby, right? And people are like, why is he saying 60 G's? Because it was 50 G's, but it wasn't. Because that day, that fight card, when after every weigh-in, you go back to the backstage, right? And Dana White gives you like a little chat, just to fighters only. And he was telling about the bonuses. This is the first time we started capping with the 50 grand bonuses. And he said, right, guys, it's going to be 50 grand this time. And Mark, who was it? Diego Brandão was on that card as well. I know that he fought Conor, but it wasn't that him. But he was like, no, Dana, 60 G's. And then he was like, what? And he was like, give us 60 G's. And Dana went, fuck it, then 60 G's is. So that's why that only one fight, it was 60 G's. And that's why he said 60 G's. So there's a little bit of knowledge for you. But yeah, so he won that. I won that 60 as well then, because I got
brilliant.
5 tonight. And I remember being just at the press conference and just how he was chatting and stuff. It was quite funny. But it was very funny. I mean, he's very charismatic, So, and then I fought the same card as him in Boston. Then I fought the same card as him in when he came back and main evented against Brandão in Ireland. Then I went and fought on the same card as him when he fought in Vegas against Chad Mendes when he won. So I was with him quite a bit, and we chatted a lot. Always had good friendly chats with him. He was always very respectful to me. He always had time to come and say hello to me. So my relationship with him has always been pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Yeah, and I believe that he has grown the sport a lot, hasn't he? Like, just yeah. What do you think? Do you think he's going to beat Dustin on the weekend?
It's a really good fight. Really good fight. I know that they're both different fighters to when the first fought, but I honestly think both of them have improved a lot. So it's one of those ones. I'm good friends, really good friends with Dustin. And I like Conor, but I'm good friends with Dustin. So my heart's one place, my head's a different place. But honestly, if I was a betting man, I wouldn't go near that fight because it's too close. It's too close to call both of them. on any given night, I could beat anyone in the world, you know. So yeah, so I wouldn't touch that fight. You know,
No.
I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, no, of course.
Is
Yeah.
that next Saturday?
Yeah, it's next Saturday now. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's bring it back to you now. Sorry for going off track there. Yeah, so I just I just want to know that when you're ever going through like a difficult situation, like how do you tend to overcome difficult situations like that? Like we talked about like going over a loss, but is there anything that you've gone through like in life that you've had to deal with, and like how do you deal with something like that?
Be around the right sort of people, kind of thing. It's if you're around positive people, positive. For me, energy. I mean, I like getting all like spiritual and all that sort of. Energy is very contagious. Like if someone comes into your room with a real bad energy, that can zap it out of you and brings the mood down in the room. So I mean, like, so you have to be very careful of who you spend your time with. You know, like. And hang yourself around, you know, it's because there's so many people have such negative energy. Like the cup's always half empty. But you want to surround yourself around the people who always have a positive look in life because that reflects on you. And don't get me wrong, everyone has a bad day here and there, but you get those people where their bad days are always a bad day, and then some days it's a bad day, but some days it's a really bad day. Like they're never up. You know, it's hard, and sometimes those people latch on to the bigger people to try and get some of them. So it's very important to balance it out because sometimes you want to help some of these people, bring them up, but then you got to realize that's taking something out of you as well, bringing them up. So it's really trying to balance yourself around the right sort of people. So like sometimes you can't help who you hang around with, but sometimes you could be a family member. So like say if you be a family, you can't help your family, but say your mother or your dad was just pretty like negative or so that, you know, without saying hush, maybe just try and step away a little bit. It's your mom, your dad, I get it, you know, or one of your best friends. You know, like they're there, but you just need to try and minimize your time as you can and try and be around those people who have the same sort of mindset and the same sort of goal. When you're in a fight gym, most people in that fight gym have the same goal to go on and be a world champion. So you want to start being around those people. You see, he's young and hungry. He wants to train every day. He doesn't. This guy's a bit of a bum. He trains once, goes smokes weed the rest of the day. Don't really want to train. Misses more training than he. Don't hang around with him. He's not a good training partner. You know, because then he starts getting that mind. You want to be around the same sort of hungry. People with the same sort of mindset and same goal as you, kind of thing. Yeah, and like I said, it's not always easy to have those people around, but it's very easy. And going back to what I said before about energy, I did this within the first lockdown. I went running a lot, right? And I said on I'd done a little rant on one of my things. I said, energy is so spreading. So when I'm going for a run, if I run past anyone, I say good morning. Morning. If they say good morning back, good. If they don't, whatever. But then if I say good morning to that person, he may say good morning to the next person. And it kind of just nice. It's just spreading good energy. If I ran past that person and went, fuck you, like that, and I ran off, he'd be like, what an arsehole. And then he'll have down 100%. And then he may be a bit arsey with someone else. And then you know, so that's what I say. Energy is very contagious. So you have to be very careful how you dish out your energy. If you are feeling bad, be on your own a little bit, or try and get around those people who are going to pick you back up. But let them pick you up. Don't drag them down. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah, I love that because I just finished a book called Good Vibes, Good Life. And it talks about vibrations, the vibrations you give out to people. And it is so powerful. Like if you have the right energy around people, it brings them up. So no, that's amazing that you said that. Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, no, thank you so much for being on the podcast today, Brad. Like I really appreciate your time, and you know, you are someone who you are someone who, you know, a lot of people have looked up to, especially in the UK, and you know, growing up, that's been into fighting and stuff like that. So this is such an honor to have you on the podcast. And what I'll do, right? Well, no worries, Brad. What I'll do, right, guys, I'll leave Brad's social media down below so you can go and check him out. You know, he's coaching now, and he's coaching now, and you'll see him all around on TV. You know, going around with his fighters. I believe. I believe you went to Yas Island. Is that correct?
Twice. I've been there twice.
Twice. What was that like? Just before we leave now, I just gotta ask, what was that like?
Strange. It's a strange experience. Yeah, like, there's so many people there that I knew that I didn't even get to see. You all in your little bubbles here and there. So it was a cool experience, but weird. To be honest, this whole situation is pretty weird, and it's kind of like makes you really antisocial. So it's kind of strange.
Yeah, no, of course. No, that's totally fine. Yeah, no, thank you so much again, Brad. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to see each other soon.
All right, see you, mate. Okay, bye bye.